diamond grills.
That's $1 million smile.
Rare helmets. $100,000 chains. A jersey so expensive, it got a player investigated by the police. There's a lot of expensive things players wore during games, starting with Deebo Samuel. He wore some of the most expensive cleats in NFL history. He was this hyped during a playoff game because he took inspiration from the Nike Dunk lows that are covered in thousands of crystals and wore a custom cleat version. And not only did Deebo's cleats help him make plays or pull off the win, they cost him over $2,000. But these shiners are literally the cheapest item in this video. Each thing a player wore is about to be different and more expensive as we go. Like when this next player wore something that not only broke NFL rules, it got him fined $5,000. Ben Roethlisberger was dealing with an injury, so he was on the sidelines coaching his team instead of playing when cameras caught him wearing an Apple Watch. Unfortunately, this timepiece violated NFL rules. The league's strict about wearing technology that can send or receive messages, whether it's in-game or on the sidelines. So Ben's watch wasn't only banned, it got him fined $5,000. I guess time really is money.
Boo! You stink!
Anyways, leveling up to something that's even more expensive is Puka Nacua, and what he wore helped him set an NFL record. Something legendary was about to happen in just the second game of dude's career, because Puka had not 1, not 2, not 3, not even 5 or 10 catches. This man had 15 catches in a single game. What the f? And that not only broke the record for most receptions ever in a game by a rookie, it was so legendary that Puka's game-worn jersey went to auction and was sold for $18,000. But that's still cheaper than what Sauce Gardner wore. There's a reason that people are always glazing him.
Can we show the grill? That's a good-looking grill, man.
Yeah.
And Sauce doesn't just wear them during interviews. He wears grills everywhere, like during commercials, while playing video games.
Who did this?
Even during his secret job at fast food restaurants.
It's a Sauce Gardner.
My new job, right?
But what he puts in his mouth wouldn't be in this video if he didn't also wear them on the football field. Sauce is shining every single game, even after games when he's trolling his opponents. And that's all because his grills are beyond expensive.
Sauce Garden, he got some different type of grills. As a matter of fact, I am calling him and asking him right now. Yo, Sauce. I'm streaming right now, gang. I got a question. I saw your chain and your grills. And how much do those cost?
It's like 30. It really depends.
30 bands?
Now, alright, $30,000 for some mouth? That's definitely more than I'd spend. But what Dez Bryant wore not only cost even more. His $50,000 accessories need security, cause he always loses them. The first time happened during a brawl between two teams when Dez got rocked hard. And that's where Dez lost one of his diamond earrings until a security guard found it and returned it to him.
How the hell you found that? Hey, I appreciate that.
Now, Dez always loved wearing earrings, but being at practice or on the sidelines with diamonds in, it didn't get as crazy as what happened while he was on the field. When he went deep to make a crazy play, after his opponents challenged it, replays revealed that his leg touched out of bounds, so he not only lost the highlight, he lost his diamond earring again when it fell out of his helmet and bounced on the field. But after the game, Dez was so shaken up from the play, so at first he had no idea. But after the game, the earrings were found by a security guard again and returned, which was lucky because they cost $50,000. Now, I could see someone spending thousands to wear diamonds, but I never thought I'd hear of a fan paying even more for something Tom Brady wore on his ass? Now, being the motherfucking GOAT, it ain't even a surprise what Brady wears becomes worth a lot. Like this normal pair of socks he wore during a game, literally sold for thousands. But one of the most expensive things he wore came during the 2023 playoffs when he matched up with the Cowboys, because many people felt like if he lost, it would be the last game of his career.
Is this possibly the last time we see him in an NFL uniform?
This might be the last time we see Tom Brady playing football.
Now, after hearing all of that, Brady came out with a point to prove, only to start the game by throwing a rare interception. And before he knew it, his squad was getting completely dominated until they were eventually down 24-0. Now, Brady tried making it interesting by throwing 2 touchdowns while making a comeback, but in the end, it was too late. His squad was eliminated. Brady eventually retired, so that's why the pants he had on during that final game eventually went to auction, and they became the most expensive pair that any NFL player ever wore, selling for $89,000. But another player literally whipped out his BBC that cost 6 figures.
Are you serious right now, bro?
Let me explain. big, beautiful chain. See, it was inspired by athletes from another sport. Because when MLB players on the Padres would be MVP of a game, they'd get rewarded with a huge chain made of colored gems, and it even spun. So when the 49ers saw that, they just had to get something designed even crazier. Dipped in yellow gold, made with thousands of different colored sapphires, and weighing over 6 pounds, this chain was to be awarded to any 49er player who made something crazy happen. And we all know how much people named Debo love chains.
Why you tripping, Debo?
Man, that's messed up. Why don't you give him back his chain?
What chain?
But Debo Samuel damn near loves chains even more. That's why in a game when he made a catch and ran in a crazy touchdown, he celebrated by getting hype on the sidelines, flexing the massive chain. This made the chain become so big in the city that not only did fans wear replicas of it, and so did a former 49er legend. The world found out that Debo's chain was worth over $100,000. Okay, chains that changed the game are one thing. Eli Manning was about to do what many thought was impossible. After that, a player wore cleats that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And we still gotta get to the $1 million jersey that got a player investigated by the police. But before we get to all those stories, first I gotta say, there's no better experience than seeing NFL players in person.
Oh, Lamar to Odell? Touchdown!
So that's why I partnered up with my boys at Game Time to get you in on this year's action. Game Time is more than just an app. It's the best ticket buying experience I've ever used. As I'm scrolling, you can see that for any event, not just NFL, Game Time shows the best prices available. But one of my favorite features is this Game Time Picks section. Here's where it shows the most highly anticipated events in my area, and when I click on one, boom, I can customize the spot, how many tickets I get. There's even a super deal tab that gives me an absolute top tier valued seat. Like for me, it says this is a top 1%. Oh my god, I'm definitely going with this. And before even making the purchase, I get to see the exact view I get from the seat in the arena. That's dope. Whenever I'm buying tickets to NFL games, there's also NBA, MLB, concert tickets, and more. Game Time has me hyped for these events because it never matters if I'm trying to buy tickets early, last minute, or even late. The app allows me to handle everything stress-free with no hidden fees, and they're even letting me hook you up with a crazy deal for your first event. All you gotta do is download the Game Time app, create an account, then use my code FIELDFLIX, and I'm guaranteeing that tickets to your first event are an extra $20 off. Terms apply. I just want you to experience a live event like never before, so try out the Game Time app at least this one time, and if you see something you want to show up to, just use this code right here, man. FIELDFLIX for a free $20 off. But anyways, let's get back to some of the most expensive things NFL players wore in games, because Eli Manning was about to shock the world. His Giants came running out for their Super Bowl matchup against the undefeated 18-0 Tom Brady-led Patriots. The Patriots were picked by almost every single analyst to win, because they were just this game away from going undefeated for the entire year. So with history at stake, things got underway, and all game, both teams scored back and forth. But when Brady threw a touchdown to put his team ahead with less than 3 minutes left, many people figured this game was over. Until Eli kept moving his team down the field, and he not only made a crazy pass which led to one of the greatest catches in NFL history. A few moments later, he threw a touchdown that shocked the world. The Giants won, Patriots players were stunned, and since Eli ended a team's historic season with an even more historic game-winning drive, his shiny blue helmet from the game became the most expensive helmet any player ever wore when it sold for $130,000. But alright, Eli's head game was cheap compared to what Odell Beckham wore on his feet that set a world record. Cause after he signed with a new squad that instantly helped him make the Super Bowl, Odell kinda knew this moment was supposed to happen.
When I was born, the doctor was like, oh yeah, he's supposed to play in the Super Bowl. He's supposed to win it too.
So that's why Odell secretly planned something expensive ahead of time. He had his shoe designer spend over 100 hours making cleats that didn't just have his team colors over python skin. They had Odell's logo on the tongue, yellow gold, and the Nike swoosh was made of over 1,500 diamonds. And on the day of the big game, cameras caught Odell wearing them, pre-gaming, making one-handed catches, all while he was rocking the most expensive cleats in NFL. No, scratch that. Sports history that cost over $200,000. But not even that type of money compares to another player who wore something even more expensive just cause his wife forced him to. These females are crazy, man, especially mine. Alright, anyways. Gerald McCoy always loved his jersey number, 93. He wore it since college, and it's what helped him become a star while playing for the Buccaneers. But eventually he signed with the Panthers and ran into a huge problem. Literally. Cause this fat ass dude, Kyle Love, was already wearing the number 93 and he had been for a while. Until Gerald's wife convinced him to literally buy the number from his teammate.
It cost me $250. Hey, listen, I wasn't gonna do it, but my wife said, that's your legacy. Mama spoke.
Okay.
That's it.
And obviously he was hyped right when he got the number. Once Gerald announced he was back in 93, he was only ever seen wearing the number from that point on and made headlines from buying it for $250,000. I'm sure that dude would have been good with a couple pizzas or something, but it doesn't even matter because money like that doesn't even compare to other stars like Alvin Kamara, Kadarius Toney, Jamar Chase, and more, who all wore some of the most expensive things ever out of a jewelry store. I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, man. I'm starting with Alvin Kamara, because he was first wearing grills before the NFL.
That's the infamous smile. I'm about to upgrade, but these are the ones I've been wearing since college.
Then not long after, pics came out of Kamara wearing new upgrades, as he would call them, every game. Kamara was seen smiling during games with his bust-down grills, and eventually after making one of the craziest plays of his career, his teeth stole the show.
Wow, these sparkles too.
My gosh, I mean, there's so many diamonds in there, we can't even count it. If we had a segment on counting diamonds in his grill, we would lose count every time.
But other players' grills are on a whole other level. Like this ugly mother. Ah! Get that off my screen. That's Kadarius Toney, aka a player who also let another man stick something in his mouth. Mans is always at the jeweler. That's why even rappers respect him.
Hello, this is Casey. What's up, bro? One of my good clients making a big piece for him. Are your teeth permanent?
Yeah.
And Kadarius's diamond grills made him beyond famous. In pretty much every single picture, he's shining. During any interview, the grills are flashing more than the cameras. And cause the diamonds are permanent, anytime he's playing in games on the field, of course his grills are out there with him. But Jamar Chase's grills are so bright, I might go blind. Hold up, I gotta call him real quick. Yo, Jamar, where you at, my boy?
I'm at the house chilling, bro. What's good?
We cooking up a video about you right now.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, you heard that. Even Jamar's a fan, so why aren't you? Subscribe. Anyways, wherever Jamar's at, he's always flexing his grills, even on the field. Man really keeps his fully customized teeth in while he plays in NFL games. And cause his grills started getting him so much attention, he bought his teammate a matching pair. But last, and definitely not least, Justin Jefferson has the most expensive grills in the NFL. Not only does he wear them during interviews,
I had to put sunglasses on. It's gonna blind me with the grill, dog.
people literally think that whenever he's got them in during warm-ups, it guarantees he'll go off during games. But duh, it's Justin Jefferson. He's literally God. So of course he flexes the grills during games, cause, hey, Justin, they cost how much?
200,000.
So with his grills, combined with the others, they cost over $300,000. But Tom Brady not only wore something worth over $1 million, it turned into an FBI investigation. A situation that insane, of course, only happened because of the Super Bowl. This game meant more to Brady than any other in the past, because it was the first time his mom could watch in person after being diagnosed with cancer. But even though he wanted to give her a show, his squad got dominated right from the start. By halftime, the score was 21-3, and things didn't seem like they could get much worse. But once the Patriots went down by even more, absolutely nobody thought they still had a chance. Until Brady threw one touchdown after another, and eventually went so crazy that he tied things up. But this comeback would have been all for nothing without the win. So in overtime, Brady ran the perfect play, securing the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history. But even though they won, here's where things turned sketchy. Brady took off his jersey and handed it to a team staff member because he hoped it would be kept safe. But after he continued celebrating with everyone on the field, once Brady got back to his locker, it was gone.
Hey, did someone take my jersey? I put it in my bag.
Brady was devastated because the jersey was speculated to become one of the most expensive pieces of sports memorabilia ever, worth over $1 million. So the jersey disappearance made headlines, and Brady kept getting asked about it.
Do you have any update on where the jersey is?
Yeah, I put it in my bag and then I came out and it wasn't there anymore. So if it shows up on eBay somewhere, someone let me know. Try to track that down.
Immediately after, the FBI went to work trying to figure out the suspect. And since the entire locker room celebration was filmed, This media member seemed a little suspicious. Even though he took selfies with Brady, he didn't quite seem like he belonged because he was constantly looking at the cameras. And eventually, he left with a bag he didn't come in with as he fled the scene. The man's face was everywhere, so the FBI tracked down every single media member who scanned into the arena that night. And eventually, they found out his identity, Martin Ortega. The FBI tracked the guy all the way to his home, showed up, and found the jersey. Because this jersey was $1 million piece of memorabilia, the man was facing a felony theft crime and 10 years in prison. But Tom Brady just forgave him and didn't press any charges just because he didn't want to ruin someone's life over a jersey. Man, I just wonder if this next player would have done the same, because what he wore cost more than double. And of course Odell's in here again, man. He's always trying to have swag. This time it wasn't any of his cleats though. When he was making his debut for the Browns, all game long, he was making ridiculous highlights. But catches like those weren't what had sports shows talking. They were more interested in Odell wearing a watch in the middle of a football game? Yeah, dude really did that. And this wasn't just a boring ass plain Jane piece like Big Ben earlier. Odell was rocking a rare Richard Mille that not only matched his team's colors, it was designed to look like one of my favorite cars ever, a McLaren. Ooh, that thing's sexy. And since there were only 500 of the watches ever made, it cost Odell 300 grand. Unfortunately, Odell went against the NFL rules for wearing hard objects on the field, and he was sent a letter demanding that he never wear the watch again because it was banned. But he just said F the NFL, and in his very next game, wore an even rarer and more expensive watch. This time it was a crystal clear, only 10 ever made, Richard Mille, that cost over $2 million. Odell's a savage for that. And I'm no astronaut or anything, but even I can add up that both watches combined were the most valuable things we talked about, worth over $2.4 million. But even that ain't as crazy as NFL legends who hate each other.